The Chosen is a global phenomenon with incredible actors giving life to characters we've known from the scripture. Sometimes with a faith-based series like this, people wonder whether the actors actually believe in the stories told within the show, so that's why I'm here to talk about the real-life religions of The Chosen Season 5 cast. You'll be surprised to see that there are atheists among the cast members and also Christian leftists. Luke Dimyan. To many, he had the best performance of the season alongside Jonathan Roumie. The fact that Luke plays Judas so incredibly might be due to the fact that he grew up in a pretty religious household where he was very familiar with the Bible. Luke thanks his Coptic Egyptian background and his grandfather, who apparently was a priest. In one interview, Luke even revealed that his grandfather faced unjust imprisonment in Egypt. So Luke is a Coptic Orthodox. A fun fact, on YouTube, there's a prayer recited by Luke that was written by his grandfather.
Today a person is born. Tomorrow he dies. Today a person has good health. Tomorrow he is sick.
You can find the link to the full video in my description box. Lara Silva. She might not have played the biggest role in Season 5, but Lara is still indispensable to the show. What surprised me about her faith journey was to hear that she became a Christian in her 20s. Even though her mom was a Catholic, Lara's family didn't go to church or own a Bible when she was a child, but she became a believer by herself in her 20s. And she says that only after she started believing in God did she land big opportunities to play various roles. I came into my faith a little later in life too. It's like I'm learning as I go. He's meeting me where I am constantly. Also, Lara currently records prayers for the Glorify app.
It's easy to get caught up in the traditions of Easter and rush past its true meaning. We reflect, we celebrate, but do we really slow down to take in what Jesus did for us? And that's why I'm taking time each day to pause, reflect, and grow closer to God.
One final thing about Lara, she has Proverbs 16:9 on her Instagram bio. In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. Let's continue with another female cast member, Vanessa Benavente. Although she plays the Mother Mary, Vanessa doesn't share the beliefs promoted by The Chosen. When she's asked whether she's a believer, Vanessa usually dodges the question, but during an interview in 2022, the actress was asked how she portrayed a woman who was miraculously chosen by God when she is not a believer herself. Vanessa said that she just focuses on the surprising nature of the things Mary had to go through. Last year, though, she talked more about how The Chosen impacted her and revealed, "This show has been a real eye-opener to how I carry my spirituality. I feel it hasn't only just gotten me a little bit more in touch with the message of Jesus." Jonathan Roumie. Meanwhile, Jonathan, who is 5 years older than Vanessa by the way, describes himself as a born-again Catholic. This is because even though Jonathan was baptized Greek Orthodox, he later found his purpose in Catholicism as a struggling actor. During a day when he was completely broke, unable to pay bills, not knowing whether he could buy lunch for himself, this was what he did.
I literally said, "God, you take this from me. It's in your hands now. It's not up to me. And I'm not going to worry about it."
Can you believe he was cast as Jesus in The Chosen only 3 months later? Elijah Alexander. He plays a wonderful first-century villain, but he's a believer in real life. Even by looking at his Instagram, you can tell that he's a faithful person, always sharing verses from the Bible. Most recently, he shared Matthew 18:21-22, which is, as you know, the subject of one of the best scenes in Season 4.
Forgive that. No, not 7, but 77 times.
Shahar Isaac and Noah James. I put these two together not only because they portray brothers Peter and Andrew, but because they are both of Jewish faith. Shahar was born and raised in Israel, and he's an Israeli Yemenite Jew. Noah also said that he's Jewish and he was brought up Jewish. No wonder these two are like best friends off camera. This was their response when a reporter asked what it was like to play brothers.
Pretty bad.
We hate it. I mean, honestly, we're so glad you asked so we can finally break the news.
If anybody's, whoever's writing this,
we hate each other. We're like,
this
why do we?
relationship,
Whenever we see on the page, it's like Andrew and
everyone,
Simon,
if you
you're
see
like,
this,
no.
Paris Patel. Paris was born in the US, but his family comes from the Gujarati people of India. The Gujarati are for the majority Hindus. Paris seems to be connected to his roots, but it's not certain whether he practices Hinduism. He does celebrate Diwali, the Hindu festival of lights, so it does look like he at least has a cultural connection to Hinduism. Elizabeth Tabish. Did any of you see this Vanity Fair headline about Elizabeth? The Chosen's Mary Magdalene is a true believer and a hardcore leftist. Yes, this is actually a real headline taken from her interview where she said she's a leftist who loves Bernie Sanders. She also said this: there are a lot of very liberal Christians that feel like their religion has been held hostage by the right. You say you're Christian, people just assume that you are on the right. So a lot of leftist Christians are quiet about their beliefs, but I have to say it. You look at what Jesus was teaching, and it's about taking care of the poor, the needy, those who are excluded from society. The actress also talked about her faith journey. As a child born in Utah and raised in Oklahoma, she and her father's family frequented the Maronite Catholic Church, but she didn't like the hypocrisy she observed among the youth group leaders there, so for years she dismissed religion. Only after booking the role of Mary Magdalene did she get a renewed interest in Jesus. Now, let's look at some of the members of the Sanhedrin. Ivan Hasso, Shaan Sharma, and Richard Fancy. Ivan plays Yusuf. Unfortunately, I could not find anything about his faith online. It looks like even if he does believe, he does not talk about it. If you guys heard him say anything during interviews, do let me know in the comments. Shaan is also private about his beliefs, but he answered a question during a Reddit AMA last year and he said this: I was raised Hindu but was born again in high school. I am private about my faith, but I'm a follower of the teaching of Jesus. As for Richard Fancy, I wish I could tell you, but the guy is a total mystery. If he is a believer, he doesn't talk about it. At least, I didn't see him mention anything. Paul Ben Victor and Andrew James Allen. Here are the two other villains of The Chosen Season 5. Paul, I think I've seen him in like 10 different shows. I was watching The Resident the other day, like 2 days ago, and he just randomly popped up on my screen. I love the guy. Well, he's an Ashkenazi Jew who was born in Brooklyn and raised by a Jewish family. Andrew James Allen is listed as a Christian on many websites, but he probably is not a believer. In an interview, he said, more than it being about religion or religious figures, I feel like The Chosen and his characters is about personal growth and transformation. I mean, he's not wrong, but it is a show about religion and religious figures. Hello, Jesus? No? Anyway, let's move on to one of the disciples for now. Giavani Cairo. Our Thaddeus actor was raised in Michigan by a Catholic family, but he grew away from his faith and never felt like he had a relationship with Christ. In 2018, he was in Los Angeles, chasing the acting dream, but he started to feel lost. That's when one of his friends suggested to Giavani that he start volunteering and setting new goals for the year ahead. So he made a pact to read the Bible and pray every day. He's a firm believer since. If you want to learn more about the religious beliefs of the other cast members, you can check out this video, which became the most watched video on my channel, by the way, or this video.